Our next talk is the decision-defining cybersecurity aspect of digital sovereignty. Our speaker is the Vice President of Kaspersky and the Director of Center of Expertise. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hand together for Mr. Veniamin Levtsov.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's still morning, yeah? So, sabah. Thank you very much for everybody that I have a chance to speak to you again. This stage has become more comfortable for speaker than the years before. Now I feel something back to me. So, actually, we all understand that cybersecurity, that's about technology, that's about business assets, that's about human needs, that's about protectiveness, and also that's about regulation and politics, you know. And with my presentation, I'm going to talk about the digital sovereignty. That is pretty fashionable point now and very important aspect of cybersecurity. And we at Kaspersky, with our global footprint, maybe more than other vendors, face the needs and very particular requirements from different countries, from different regions, about supporting the efforts of our regional governments, authorities on this way. So, and let me start with some definitions, and let me share with you my vision on how this aspect has been evolving for the years. So this is four definitions from four different sources, and the first one is from Wikipedia. You know, if you take a look at the first one, you may see that that's more about creation of some limitations, that the authority should control mass media in the country, and internet is a sort of a way of propagating the mass media messages, you know. And also that's the instruments for manipulating people. So it's absolutely clear that initially it was only negative aspect. The negative aspect that, okay, if we control their legislation in our country, mass media, if we control a lot of spheres, we should control also this one, you know. And it resulted in all these balkanization stories and all that stuff. But then we see how it developed, and it developed to more positive mood. So governments and businesses, national businesses first of all, wanted to be more independent from impediments imposed by digital regulations of foreign governments or the global companies, the global cloud providers and some other less really big techs, you know. So, and then what we see, the word capacity for digital self-determination comes to this stage. So that's about that the country should be capable, yeah, to play independent role in the technological era. And at the end, what we see, the independency. The word independency comes from the definition of digital sovereignty coming from European strategy. You may take a look at all the links here. So this is the evolution, and now let me address to you my own definition of digital sovereignty from cybersecurity perspective. So it's a national concept. It should be a national concept, not a particular authority, ministry. It's a whole nation concept. That implies decreasing of geopolitical factors and big solution providers' decisions, impact on affordable level of protection against cyber threats for national institutions, authorities, and individuals, you know. So, and actually, you know, we see more or less the same situation in all the countries where we talk to their authorities about their wish to become more independent from this perspective. And it, in most cases, touch of following aspects. First of all, that's about the personal data or sensitive data processing regulation. Yeah? Countries want that the data are in rest, stores locally in a trusted data centers and all that stuff. Then that's about the sovereign cloud. Cloud that hosted again with a local cloud provider. That's about trusted cybersecurity solutions. That's about rising the generation of national managed security providers, actually. You know, you can imagine how serious consequences could happen if their cybersecurity providers, that is the global player, one day decide to stop the operations in a very particular country. And it may affect businesses and government operationability in a very dramatic way. So we can't rely only on us at the end of the day, you know. That's a point is laid on the basement of this story, actually, you know. Then that's about the critical infrastructure protection, and that's about the creation of expert community, the educational atmosphere. So let me, through next 10 minutes, go pretty fast through all these 6 aspects, highlighting the point how the global security vendor like Kaspersky can help organization that is responsible for digital sovereignty development in the country on this journey. Yeah, with very particular architecture or just ideas, because actually this is a way how we run our business. You know, we cooperate with the people. We share with them we share with them our knowledge. We provide them with threat intelligence, and for sure we deliver our solutions in different ways. So let me go point by point through these stories. The first one, as I mentioned, is about the sovereign cloud. I think, you know, when I prepared these slides, especially for the conference, you know, I found a lot of examples of landing over global technologies from Oracle, from Microsoft, from AWS in Middle East, and I'm quite sure that this is a very right way. And also, if you take a look at the Gaia X project, that's a very important story for Europe now. Actually, that's a platform, and European, first of all, big companies may host their data, may use some instruments, may share their intelligence through this data in a sovereign way. You know, this is a fully European, hosted in Europe, managed by European Board of Directors organization. So we all understand where it's going to. The only point here, and I think that this is absolutely proper way. The only point I want to highlight in the course of my presentation is the majority of these platforms for sure has some powerful tool related to cybersecurity, but it's mostly about encryption, encrypted communications, and identification, you know. But if speak about the security of the data, if speak about security of the processes, that's a pretty poor set of instruments as far as I know. And such vendors like Kaspersky or other vendors may provide some security on top of these platforms. As a sample of such security tool, I can mention the managed Kubernetes, for example. Almost all of these platforms provide something that is containment in a managed way. That is protected by special security solutions by Kaspersky or by other vendors, you know. Just an example, how we may cooperate, how we may contribute to make the sovereign cloud more secure. Next story, that's about the data. You know, yeah, actually, first of all, if speak about the key reason, the core reason for this cloud sovereignty, that's about full access and full possession around the data, you know. and on the country level. But also that's about the possession of the data on the company level, yeah? On the ministry level. And what we see now, we see in this cloud era, we see the rising interest to the air-gapped solutions, to the solutions for fully air-gapped environment, yeah? Without, let's say, free connectivity to the internet, to global clouds. And we understand the reasons. You know, my American colleagues shared with me, even American colleagues here, shared with me the stat that about 15% of American companies prefer to have their core infrastructure isolated from the internet for many reasons. You know, I'm very limited by time, but I cannot share with you the case. At RSA in San Francisco, there was, like 5 years ago, there was a big discussion about the cloud. The cloud is great. The cloud providers provide more flexible, better solutions and all this stuff. And there was a guy, the cybersecurity expert and CISO, as far as I understood, and he just addressed the question to the panelists. Okay, if serious incident happened, what do you do with the first? The first, if serious epidemic, if serious, really serious, I don't know, pandemics rule you're holding, or just, I don't know, ransomware that addresses more and more pieces in your network. What do you do first? Oh, you isolate your environment. You stop outgoing and incoming communications, and then you start curring your network segment by segment. Okay, in such a case, what sort of efficiency you are going to take from the solution, which logic is based on somewhere in a cloud. You need some tools inside your PC. So that's why, you know, and there are some other reasons. But, you know, what we saw, you know, we have the awareness platform for office personnel, for government servants, just to rise up the level of cybersecurity hygiene for the people. It's a learning platform. And, you know, we've been addressing it for years as a cloud platform. And then, just a year ago, we decided to offer its on-premise version. When organizations deploy it on-premise and the personnel get access not to somewhere to the cloud, but on-premise, and we see fantastic interest to the platforms. You know why? Because in such a case, there is no need for the organization to share Active Directory rolled up information with somebody in the cloud. And this is a very serious aspect that should be considered. You know, and it's not just about this platform. That's about CM. That's about operation and technology security. Yeah, majority of OTs are isolated, or at least semi-isolated from the cloud. So, and vendors should be very, let's say, focused on this point, I think, because in a world where all nations stands to digital sovereignty and more control over the data, this should be the case, actually. And Kaspersky, for sure, has a lot in this area. Then, the trusted security solutions. This is just two examples, you know. And I can speak hours about it, but I have just a couple of minutes for this slide. So, as a matter of fact, what we see now in China with Sichuan regulations, you know, they allow for more and more industries of critical infrastructure, how they understand it. In China, they allow using only the national security solutions. And this is a diagram how they spread this experience to more and more industries. That was the principle of 2+5 for the first stage, and then almost all organizations. So that's a big question mark. Is it proper way? Or should everybody follow the same? I don't know. This is not the stage, at least not the slot for discussing, but this is a reality. One of the biggest IT market is going this way. So, and in Russia, just for you to know, we have a deadline, the January 1st, when all government state critical infrastructure should migrate to the national operating systems, national database management systems, and some other according to decree of our president. You know, so we are on this way. And we understand that not all the countries may generate their own security solutions. So the global vendor can help. Can help in which way? Sharing software development kits, sharing threat intelligence, white labeling something, and at the same time helping the local organization to foundate the research centers, virus labs, all that stuff. Eugene told me many times, if you find the country where they will be open to create their own antivirus company, we are open to share with them a lot of things, our technologies, our processes. Let's discuss it. So we are on this game, and we understand how it's important. This is just an example of one of their contract we have in Uzbekistan for their national solution we support. Global vendor like Kaspersky may provide a lot to national cybersecurity service provider. And that's about a lot of things. That's about sharing the information about their global vision on their customers' footprint. That's about sharing their general feeds. That's about providing some tools like CM or EDR. And that's about the backing them in case of pandemic. In case of pandemic, they make us a call, and our guys can be involved for incident response or serious threat tackling with. So very important point, that's about the critical infrastructure management. We also should understand there. I'm quite sure that you all understand the definition of critical infrastructure, so I'm not going to spend your time on it. The first point is here that they have owners, they have their directors, they have their directors for cybersecurity, and they should do their job. But the government, for sure, is eligible, at least to get the information about the incident happened there. In Saudi, in some other countries, I know you have the framework for this, but that would be great to make this framework automated. And when Kaspersky has the architecture for making this absolutely transparent and, let's say, to make the absolutely seamless way for collecting the information about the incidents in critical infrastructure and reflecting in one database in the central authority. And the last point, actually, that's about the education. We are here also to educate young people and professionals. I'm the professor at the same time in Moscow State University. We address to them the special course on cyber threats and solutions, 32 hours, official course and curriculum of university. We can provide many other educational topics, and I would be happy to start addressing this practice in the universities of Riyadh and Sharjah, in many other cities here, because creation of the community is very important. And the last point, actually, I'm running out of time, so I'm just asking you to take a look at this question. This is a list of questions you should answer, specifying your strategy, your particular roadmap on the way of this digital sovereignty journey. Which aspect to handle first? To create your own certification system for cybersecurity, or accept the global like common criteria or any other? To cooperate with the global service providers, or to do all the best to grow your own guys, Oh, okay. So, and the last point I want to mention, that's about the quotes for sure. I like Mr. Clausewitz, who was a great and wise, actually, person. So you should think about the strategy. And the strategy is very important when you specify how your country will let's say, will become more independent in cybersecurity area. And it is very important to make your strategic decisions well thought and in the right time, because otherwise it is not possible to compensate it later by even some tactical successes. Thank you very much for your time. That was a pleasure for me to speak to you. Thank you.